Hello again. We we are back. We are back. We were. I've done some experiments. Is what's happened. This is lesson Jigsaw. We are here for English conversation practice. If you're an English language learner, you want to practice English, practice speaking, practice conversations in English. That's what we're here for. So you will see a click. No, you'll see a link, and all you need to do is click the link, and you can come on through. So we just had our regular have a tea with me, and I had to listen back, and I discovered there were some audio issues on my end. So I had to listen back, and we had uh, one of our participants, Andy, come through, and I couldn't hear him. But when I played back the stream, he was clearly visible and audible on the stream. So that was a problem on my end, but hopefully we've got that fixed up now. As you can see, I'm still having my tea, so I replenished the liquid in the tea. So more water joined with the tea bag, a little bit weaker, but the tea is still tasting okay. You can also see there is uh, what do you call it? There is a thing going across the bottom of the screen there. You can send us an email. If now is not a good time, or the regular class at um, uh, 12 o'clock universal time, if that's not a good time for you, you can send us an email. We can arrange a class at a different time, another live stream for a different time for a conversation class on here, and you can uh, send us an email, and we can see if we can arrange something. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got all our technical issues sorted, and we should be a-okay to continue and go forward, um, and that sort of thing. So anyway, welcome. If you're watching the replay, make sure you subscribe to us. We're also on Facebook. If you search for Lesson Jigsaw, you can see us on Facebook as well. And we hope you can or join us here or there, or in both places. Look at that. Let's see if I can make some adjustments there on the fly, as we might say, on the fly. Although that didn't seem to work. Let me try that again. Let's try it again there. So how's your week been? So we're getting to Friday now. Some people are already on their weekends, because I know in some places that Friday is a holiday. So yeah, so we hope you're having a good weekend. But let us know in the comments. Tell us how your weekend has gone. What have you been doing during your weekend? Has it been enjoyable? Has it been productive? Do you prefer more just to relax on the weekend? What's your general mode of weekend enjoyment? Are you very sporty? Do you like to do lots of activities on the weekend? Are you more for, or you have to do things that are more sort of pragmatic? You have to do things that are very practical. So maybe you have to do like a weekly shopping sort of thing, or you need to catch up on all the things you couldn't do during the rest of the week. Maybe you were studying or working the rest of the week, and that didn't, and that doesn't allow you to do some of the more, let's say, the domestic things that maybe you need to take care of. So let us know in the comments, what do you do on the weekend? How do you enjoy your weekend? or maybe that's enjoying or not enjoying, as the case may be. So let's see. So how do you enjoy the weekend? And so when I say the weekend, obviously that's your weekend in that particular case. So it's want to be personal to you, to personalize it. Okay. So coming up to where I am is coming up to the weekend. It's I think it's going to be warm. We're coming out of winter, moving into spring, and I think it's going to be a warm weekend. So I don't know, maybe it might be a little bit out and about, might be a little bit just enjoying some of the warmer weather outside. So it's nice sometimes just to sit in the sun, isn't it? It's nice to sit in the sun and just get some of the rays onto you. I think it's quite nice, particularly coming out of the cold. If you just have the sunlight on you, it's particularly enlightening. I guess it's I don't know. It's a very soothing sort of a situation. It's a pleasant warmth coming from the sunlight. In some situations, maybe in others, it's not as much. But certainly in places where I grew up, the sunlight during the autumn time is particularly nice. Not too harsh. And just it's a nice, comfortable temperature. So coming into spring, not autumn, into spring. It's always mix those seasons up. That's all. It's always. I can always do the months okay, but the seasons always mix up the order for some reason. I'm not sure why, but maybe that's just me. I'm not sure. So here I am. I'm talking to myself, but that's not the point of why we're here. The point of why we're here is to talk to you and for you to come on and to practice English. So I am at the moment trying out different times of the day to see when people are available in different parts of the world, and also different parts of the world to discover us as well. That's part of the joy as well. Don't forget, we do have our regular session at 12 o'clock Universal Time. Have a tea with me. It's a program, and that's similar to what we're doing now, in the sense that it's an open show, so anyone can come on and have a chat, practice their conversational skills, practice speaking English. How much does it cost? I hear you ask. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything money-wise. It costs maybe in terms of time and effort. That's going to be the cost. But otherwise, it's free. It's just it's a matter of joining, participating, trying. The goal is for you to get more comfortable and confident speaking English. If there are different situations or items you wish to practice, maybe you want to practice a scenario where perhaps you need to speak to a certain person about different subjects, different topics. Those are certain things. Those are things we can certainly try and practice. Maybe it's just you want to be able to speak with people who you come across in different avenues of work. Maybe you're in a place where there are lots of tourists, or people from other countries, and the main way of communicating with them in terms of spoken word is through English. So maybe you want to be able to talk more with them, maybe about their backgrounds, where they're from, what they're interested in, and those sort of things. So the normal things we start conversations with. but also perhaps more deeper conversations to talk about their thoughts about different issues that may be relevant to a particular area and that sort of thing. So it's all about practice, basically, an opportunity to practice. Don't forget to subscribe to us here at Lesson Jigsaw. We're available on a bunch of the social medias, but primarily streaming on YouTube and Facebook at the moment. They're our, I guess, main sites for communication, but there are others as well, but not so dynamic on them, shall we say. So as we say there, we're here to use and learn English, primarily to use it. We want to make sure whatever message you have, it can come across, we're able to pass across that message. And we can also consider the impression that is given when you're passing across that message. We want that communication to be effective. And effective communication doesn't necessarily have to mean perfect grammar. Sometimes the grammar will be important. And so we may need to make some adjustments when we practice and then re-practice with that. I mean, if the grammar can be important, if you need to talk about something that happens in the future next week, and you're talking about, in terms of the way the sentence structured, the message you give comes across as something in the past or that happened last week, that could be a problem. Just in terms of that the person may not understand, or there could be some things that are confusing if you're using a mixture of different tenses. So in terms of that, yes, grammar can be important, but there can be other bits of grammar where it's not as important in terms of getting the message across. And certainly that should not be a barrier from stopping, or to stop us from practicing, and to try and deliver the message. I guess when we also do that, when we're giving our message, we may need to do some things to check the other person is understanding what we're trying to communicate with them and trying to share with them. I guess the obvious way to do that is through questions, but also as a receiver. I imagine in most languages, I'm not sure, that when you're having a conversation with someone, you give some sort of indication of attention and understanding to what the person is saying. That can be done certainly by things like looking in the person's eye, and they can see that you're focused on them and you have the concentration with them. It could also be in things like gestures. So you can do some sort of thing or show something, or not necessarily with the eyes, but with the rest of the face or with the body in some way, have some type of reaction to what was said. That's appropriate. Yeah, because I guess we want to do is to match what was said with the reaction most times. Yeah. If it doesn't match, it can certainly give the impression that the person has either said something in a way that was misleading or wrong, or the information is wrong, perhaps, or it could have been communicated with the correct words, but the way it was received was a different way. That could be because of things like tone and just particular words and the way people understand certain words or use certain words normally. And just in terms of the way they actually understand it. Maybe you say one thing, but the interpretation of the way that the words were spoken and pronounced came across as something else, which I guess can be very easy with lots of languages, I suppose, but certainly with English, where we have many times you can have a group of words where, because particularly like those set of words are very common, we sort of spew them out. Yeah. And it's all this mixture. So maybe a series of like 3, 4, 5, 6 words, the listener can interpret that as one word. So it's like if you say, I don't know how to do it, that can be very confusing for someone, perhaps, because how to do it could be the name of a person. How to do it. Hello, how to do it. But no, in this case, it's I don't know how to do it. But because the way we connect some of the sounds in English, it sounds like it's one word. And I guess those are some things to consider. And then, so in terms of, like we say, to react to the conversation, the other thing, I guess, that's more obvious to show that we're paying attention or that the message is being received, is that we can give some sounds. I guess in some languages, it's very common for just things like ah, yeah, or, and whatever, those sorts of interjections and sounds. I guess, and as long as they're appropriate and they fit in, and they can also be the reaction. They could also be like surprise, huh? And there can be a combination of the sound, the way the sound is, if it's going up for surprise, or if there's like some agreement, the nodding of the head, that sort of thing. Yeah, there's lots of different ways. But and through here, what the aim is to do this, to provide this. Provide this as in a sense of an opportunity to practice, an opportunity to try and say whatever you want to say, or practice whatever you say, or just have a conversation about random stuff, and then you're able to chat about that in a normal sense, and because you're more comfortable and more familiar with those sorts of things. So that's all it is. We want to make sure people are comfortable, gain confidence, and also aware of the impression that they're making when they're speaking. If they're speaking too fast and it's very difficult to understand the way that you're saying something, or maybe you're speaking too slow. I know some people think I speak too slow. Some people think I speak too fast, and I'm saying exactly the same thing in the same way. So it all depends on the receiver's impression, and so impressions can be different. But this is also where we need to adapt to a different audience. Sometimes we know who we're speaking to, sometimes we don't. It depends. Sometimes we can see them, sometimes we can't. So of course, if it's something like a telephone call, or if, like say, for example, a camera is not available, all you have is the audio. So the impressions and the responses that you get just from the audio could give a different impression to if you can actually see the face. Maybe the sound that you get is one like, oh my God, that person is shocked and dismayed at something you've said, when in fact they're smiling and everything's okay. So sometimes it can be difficult just with the sound that you hear. Yes, okay. Well, what else should we say? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and get a little bit of a refreshment. I'm going to get some more tea to have. I will be back momentarily. Let me see if I can, though. I'm going to see if I can put some sound on. So I'm going to go away for a moment. I'll be back very, very shortly. And you can come and chat. So don't go anywhere. If you're watching on the replay, enjoy the background music, soothing and relaxing, I hope. And I will be back very shortly. Take care. And hello, we're back. Tea is replenished, and we're back. Okay, so yes, it is Friday, the 11th of February. If you'd like to chat with us here on Lesson Jigsaw, click on the link you see in the comments. We'll be here for about another maybe 10 minutes or so. See what's happening. While we're going to see if anyone is around and about. Let's have a look at some photos. Let's talk about describing some photos. So I'm using the Pexels site here, and this is a person holding fruit. It's described as a person holding a fruit. Yeah, interesting. So now, what fruit? This is a peach, I believe. Oh, here we go. So we've got. I think this is potentially because I think you have 3 different types. Don't you? You can have red, yellow, and then depending on where you are, you also have the ones on the left. I believe in some places. I'm not sure about everywhere. But these are called flat peaches in some places. I'm not sure what are they called in your country, but certainly in some places I've seen them described as flat peaches. This can be very interesting, very juicy. I find them. Oh, is it red and yellow peaches? Maybe it's not red. Maybe it's white. I know with nectarines, there's white nectarines. I'm not sure. What else have we got there? There's apricots. Apricots there. And I think there's some nectarines there out of focus, but they're there. And these are other, I think they're apricots as well. That's pawpaw, I think. Pawpaw, guava, apples, pears of different varieties. Mango, and I think perhaps that's either grapefruit or oranges, but I think more of the chances of being grapefruit in the back there. A question for you. When you're buying fruit, do you touch the fruit? Do you squeeze the fruit to check how ripe it is? I like in some places they ask you to put on a glove. I suppose it's not good in terms of the use of plastic, but I certainly appreciate the idea of. I guess there must be a reason for it. There must have been problems with I assume hygiene or some sort of issue. It's been there for a long time, not just in recent times. To wear a glove when picking up the fruit, and I guess when testing the fruit to see if it's ripe or not. But in other countries, it's just bare hands, so without any gloves or anything. I don't know what the custom is in your country. Let us know in the comments. What do people normally do when they're buying, particularly fruit? I think it's particularly fruit, vegetables. Maybe I don't think I really. Normally with vegetables, for me anyway, it's more of a sight thing. It's what I can see. I guess with some vegetables, they're meant to be hard, and you pick them up and they're soft, and it's like, okay, not good to use anymore. I guess that's another thing. Okay, now this would be interesting if in this photo. So we've got. It looks. I mean, this is the impression we're getting from the photo. So what do they call this here? This is called person buying nuts. Okay, well that's a fair enough description. But the curious thing here is, I think, is that it looks as though the impression that we're getting is that the person is going to pick up the nuts with their bare hands. Now, this may be the case of she's just like hovering over the nuts or whatever it may be. It could be dried fruit or other things. And she's just sort of like hovering over them and saying, I'll have half a kilo of this. I'll have 200 grams of this. And this is her way of indicating. She's not pointing as such, but she's moving her hand over as a way of indicating. It could be that's the case. I'm not sure. I can't think I've ever seen it where someone's gone with their hands and put the nuts and that sort of thing. Normally, places give you a scoop, because with these things, I guess the difference with fruit and vegetables is traditionally people wash fruit and vegetables, but with nuts, I don't think people normally, or dried fruits, I don't think people normally would take them home, wash them, and then consume them. Maybe some people do, but I'm not sure if a vast percentage of people would do that. So maybe not. Oh, okay. I think they are. I was thinking they might have been like corn or something. But these look to be hazelnuts. So they've taken the hazelnuts out of the shell and everything. So, and I'm not sure, they could be toasted. I think they're already toasted. It's quite a selection here. It looks like there's a lot of dried fruits here as well. You've got obviously the apricots here. Maybe there could be apples or bananas, maybe, or mango even in the back there. In the front, I'm not sure if that's like figs or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. Okay. So yes, we do like to use photos sometimes as a basis for provoking conversation, starting conversation. Particularly if there's no one else here, if it's me talking to myself, it's sort of the easiest way to do that. We are about conversations. We want people to practice English, have the opportunity to speak English, become confident, comfortable, and to practice different scenarios and talking about different things in different environments. So certainly, as you see at the bottom of the screen there, you can send us an email, chatonlessonjigsaw@gmail.com. You can send us an email. We can arrange a time to practice speaking and practice having a conversation. You're welcome to do that. And otherwise, we also have our regular open conversation class, if you like, at 12 o'clock Universal Time. That's Monday to Friday, 12 o'clock. Have a tea with me. Anyone can join. You will see a link in the comments or in the chat, and you can just click on that, come on through, and we can have a chat, have a conversation, and see how things go, see where the conversation leads. And that's what it's all about, just practicing English, being comfortable with English, and not me speaking. So what if you managed to listen all the way through this, hats off to you, well done. But the objective, I repeat, is not for me to be just talking about stuff. The point is for you to be talking about stuff. So that's the main objective. So we're going to leave it here for this particular session. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us if you're also on Facebook. and we hope to have you in a live session very soon, and we can get you practicing English together. All right, have a great rest of the day. Take care. And if you're having a weekend very shortly, or now even, I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. All right, take care.